And we are back. I apologize for the extended break, but the players have returned. We are now diving straight into our first ZvT, or our first and only one of the night. Well, potentially.
Right. Why do you apologize for taking a break? You left them with a very good Ducklings.
Have you seen it?
I have.
How amazing is it? I love it so much.
Yes. Not as much as you love Shelby, apparently, but.
Oh my god, Shelby, another Peruvian Terran who unfortunately isn't here. But mate, do you know who is here? Finally, after his ladder session, we have the Mexican Zerg player representing Timbers Esports. It is JimRising.
And here on the left-hand side of the map, we have the Peruvian Terran player playing for Ixon Esports. It is NeO. Did I say Ixon? Exxon. I mean
Exxon. Meanwhile, speaking of, I wanted to get into a bit of a discussion that's happening in the Twitch chat. It is quite interesting to have, and we'll get there. But before that, NeO is going for a proxy 2-Rax.
Yeah, mate. I mean, I think he finally realized that he doesn't have to play make every game.
Mm-hmm.
And there are other faster ways to lose.
I mean, you're not wrong. You're not wrong. And we're in a best of 5, mate. You know, we got to get through these games. What is terrifying for Jim is that he did not keep an Overlord at home. He did not scout for proxies at all. And because he didn't keep an Overlord at home, when these SCVs come in to make bunkers, JimRising will not have a heads up. Oh boy, oh boy. And here comes the SCV. And this is awful. This is worst case scenario for Jim. Ay. And Jim isn't even gonna check like up the ramp either for anything. Like, so for those wondering, typically at the highest level of play, or I say that, we've been casting a lot of Solar recently, and Solar is so good at defending just because of how good he is with scouting. And now Jim finally knows, and the bunker's gonna finish.
Yeah, man, this is the best case scenario for NeO.
Mm-hmm.
Like, there's nothing better than this. Oh, JimRising going for the quick roach ward.
Ooh, nice response here. So this is where I have to criticize NeO a little bit. It would be amazing to see if NeO actually took this opportunity to maybe try and ignore the natural, go up the ramp, and get a bunker on the high ground. And to just keep the aggression going, right? And try and kill his opponent. Instead, he's going for something a little bit safer. He's going to be able to kill the natural base. But the game is going to continue on, and NeO knows this, so he's starting the factory.
Yeah. I think NeO is doing the right thing, because yes, going up the ramp was going to be the most risky choice.
Yes.
And I don't think NeO is the one that needs to take risks this game.
True. Why do so? Especially with how well this opener has gone for him. He will lose a couple of Marines. One Marine actually.
One.
Yeah. Not too bad. Well,
I mean, to be honest, he needed to lose 0, but he went to the wrong bunker.
True. What's scary is that NeO hasn't seen the main base. He doesn't know about the Roach Warren. Oh, sorry, he did see the Roaches, sorry. But he doesn't know whether or not there's like a lair. Is there going to be a Nidus or something like that? Like, he's a little bit in the dark.
Yeah, mate. But that's okay. So far, he has accomplished the goals that he has set up to do. Mm-hmm. And right now, he's just trying to siege these bunkers. But with the SCVs here, mate, those bunkers are not going to fall anytime soon.
Oh yeah, exactly. Like, right now, NeO, all he has to do is delay the natural for as long as possible. And so far, he's doing a really good job. He has to be careful, and he has to make sure he's able to save his Marines once these bunkers fall, so he can survive the counterattack.
Okay, nice save. Oh no, the SCVs!
Oh.
Those SCVs were the ones who were buying a lot of time here.
Yeah. The Marines do fall. Now the Roaches are rushing across the map. NeO should be able to get home safely. What does he have at home? Okay, he does have a tank. It will help in the defense. He's actually walling up hard, throwing down another bunker.
Okay, NeO is doing, I think, the correct team, but just look at the supply. Like 25 SCVs versus 25 drones, and now with JimRising on the offensive here. The tank is going to help a lot, but actually, other than the tank, how much is there for NeO, really?
There's one Marine, and the Marine just barely gets into the bunker in time. Thankfully, the tank is here, but it gets biled down.
Oh no, he gets kicked out. I thought the tank had enough space to not be shut out by the Ravagers, but I guess I was wrong.
Nah, this is worst case scenario for NeO. Thankfully, a Banshee is about to pop out, and the Banshee will clean this up, but NeO has taken a lot of damage, and JimRising is taking the gold base.
Yeah, Jim is like, I'm already behind, why not?
This is the great thing about Blackburn. On Blackburn, you can take all this early damage, but doesn't matter. Just take the gold. That's all you gotta do, mate. Oh, God.
Mate, battle cruisers.
Oh, my. Okay, we're getting into a weird game. I kind of like this and I kind of don't. So the Banshee has been revealed. So JimRising is working on spores. Makes sense, right? You want to be safe against the Banshees. So he will have them to defend against the BCs. NeO has to hope, cross his fingers and pray that JimRising is going to make more queens. And right now he isn't. And this BC can deal a lot of damage.
Yeah. But that BC is still quite a long game away, and JimRising is now pushing in with more roaches and more settlings.
Yeah, thankfully there's not too much here, so this isn't going to kill NeO. The big question is, like, how much is JimRising going to drone up? How greedy is he going to be? Because his greed is going to be his downfall here if he doesn't make more queens.
Yeah, even so, I still think that roaches can do a lot of damage, because there's only one Banshee and a lot of and some Hellions that are just now living. They're now living, and there's not going to be. If Jim pushes right now, he can do damage.
Oh yeah,
which is exactly what he needs to do, because he took the gold. And he needs to buy time to get all the resources to make a good enough army to destroy NeO.
Definitely. Meanwhile, the Hellions do get into the the natural mineral line. They will get a couple of drone kills. They will get cleaned up by the reinforcing roaches. NeO does spot these roaches, so hopefully he does gather a defense. The roaches of JimRising are trying to push into the natural, and they will.
Is he going to supply block him? He might.
Yeah. But NeO.
First VC and NeO doesn't know. Okay, he doesn't. Jim does not now.
Yeah, I don't know if I like this from NeO. Like, he shows his hand. I think if he teleported across the map, he'd be able to, like, maybe even force Jim into an all-in. But at the same time, NeO also needs the BC to survive, right?
Yeah. There's a lot of roaches and a lot of settlings against not a lot of from NeO. So, I mean, good thing nothing here shows up. So eventually everything here is going to get cleaned up. And forces Jim back. But James has his everything, and NeO is really behind in workers. 34 against 46, 4 bases against 2, one of them being the gold.
Yeah.
Like,
and the problem is that NeO actually, he hasn't scouted the gold either. Like, he doesn't know the position he's in. This third base for NeO needs to be his own gold at this point. Like, oh god, he needs to get back into this, and right now he is being left far behind with the economy. He's finally going across the map with his BC, but it's a little bit too late. We'll catch a queen though.
Maybe.
Get it! Get the queen!
No, the queen decides to honorably fall in battle.
Look, the queen was tired, okay? It ran far. Oh god, the queen falls, but as we see, JimRising had
the story of Fleet again.
Yeah, and he's had plenty of time to make more queens. Like, he's fine.
This VC was cute, but it's not going to do much, unfortunately. Destroy a few queens at most.
I mean, no transfuse?
Sure, not transfuse, but bots. I mean, I say bot, but there's only 2 queens now.
Exactly. The BC was straight up winning that fight. Probably could have gone for the queens. He does opt to go for the gold base instead, which I don't know if that's the best move. He is being a little bit distracted. Ooh, NeO's actually committing to the BCs getting Yamato.
I like it. I like it. BCs are like, oh no, he destroyed the first BC. Oh no, he lost the first BC. Made I was like, yes, if he amass enough numbers BCs, he can destroy his opponent. Doesn't matter what he has. But no, mate, if you just start losing battle cruisers, those things are expensive, slow to build, and just 1 or 2 doesn't cut it.
Exactly. Aye. Meanwhile, the Roaches once again do a go across the map. Borrowed Roaches at that, and they're going to be able to get on top of this tank and take it out. The BC will clean everything up, but how many workers is he going to lose before that happens?
I mean, not many, but he's wasting scans.
Yeah.
Might as well be workers. Three scans.
Another one. Oh, God. Or maybe
he doesn't have energy for another one.
The missile turret is about to finish up, so that will provide some detection. But the Roaches escape.
Yeah. Jim has been extremely cost effective. Delayed NeO like at every turn now. 125 supply versus 64.
Yeah.
he just keep going. NeO just doesn't have enough army to fight this wave of Roaches. Like sure, the Roaches are not going to kill him, but eventually something will, and NeO realizes and he just GG's.
Yeah, GG. NeO realized he was just far too behind. Like the proxy worked out really well for NeO, but the follow-up after he killed the natural, he stumbled a little bit, right? Like losing all those Marines, losing his SCVs as well, so JimRising could counterattack a little bit faster, more faster than he really should have. GG.
So GG, mate. I like that the way NeO opened with that proxy. Now we know that NeO can do other things that just turtle mech. Jim has gonna have to scout better from now on, but yeah, still on a like fair game, I would say that Jim is still 1 step above NeO.
Oh boy. Exactly. But we'll see. We'll see what NeO has in store for us. Again, this is the best of 5, right? We got plenty more games to go. And I believe in NeO. He can pull something out here. It was just game 1.
Game number 2 is going to be on 2000 atmosphere slides.
Oh boy. 2000 atmospheres. You know what? This is an okay map for mech. Let's go. Aye. So we are diving straight in. NeO, he needs your help. As the lone Terran player in this bracket, he needs your support right now, chat.
Don't you have any special spam for NeO that Yaku has made?
Yaku has made one. I don't think I have it on hand, but he does have one.
Oh no. Well, okay. That's okay. We'll see. We'll save it for the next time we see NeO.
Exactly. As sporting in the top right hand corner of 2000 atmospheres, LE, we have the player who wants to make sure we don't see him again. We have the Mexican Zerg representing Timbers Esports. It is JimRising.
And here on the bottom left-hand side corner of the map, coming all the way from Peru. Actually, no, coming all the way from Chile, because he's living in Chile.
True.
This is the Terran player for Exxon Gaming. It is NeO. I forgot like a lot that NeO actually lives in Chile.
Yeah.
When I was thinking about the tournament, I was like, oh yeah, at 2 p.m. Peru time. And he was like, yeah, man, but I live in Chile.
True. For those wondering, NeO was born and raised in Peru, but currently lives in Chile for his studies. He's currently studying to become a lawyer. He's in law school.
Wait, really? I didn't know that.
Yeah, he's a law school student. He's and he's actually pretty good at it.
Yeah, it is very unfortunate that once he finishes school in Chile, he's going to remain in Chile because he's studying like Chilean law, not Peruvian law.
True.
So he's not studying to get out, he's studying to get even more in.
Also, it's one of those things where there's something about these StarCraft players. I guess I should say Chilean players. Like, they're all either doctors or lawyers. Like, wow.
I wonder what is studying next.
Right. I want to say something with engineering. I think I heard that at one point, but I'm not 100% sure.
In Chile, mate? No, mate. Is either lawyers or doctors. There's nothing else in Chile.
Oh god. But yeah, it is really cool to see Darkness and Dastan, in medical school, and NeO and all that stuff.
Do you happen to know how early or late in his career is his university?
NeO? I think he's 2 years in. I think. I don't.
Okay, it's not like in the middle or less.
Yeah.
Still quite a way to go. Because for those wondering, I think the standard Darkness are like the end, right?
Oh, Dastan's done. He finished.
Yeah, he finished the game, but he has to make now like a lot of internship, no?
If I'm not wrong, he finished his internship.
Are you telling me that Dastan is a free man now?
Well, that's why he played. That's why he played in Sentimiento. Like that was his return because he finished his studies. Like he he finished his internship. I do know that now he is looking for like a job, like actual work. But yeah, that's why he started streaming StarCraft again.
I mean, he can start looking for a job as a pro player now.
Go for it, Dastan. Oh god. That's a shout to Dastan.
Meanwhile, returning to this game, this is like the most standard TVC that I have seen in a long time.
Oh yeah,
Three bases for the Zerg, Reaper expand into Hellion, into Starport for the Terran. Like, the question is it going to be Banshee or is it going to be Battle Cruisers?
That is the real question. We do see another CC going down, so it looks like it should be Banshee. It'd be insane if we went Raven. Yeah, there we go. So yeah, as you were saying, like not a lot has been happening this game. It's been pretty passive. Oh, I say that, but JimRising is not going for a Bailey nest. He is going for roaches. Yo, I think Jim's been watching GSL. Oh, good.
Yeah, I mean, to be honest, roaches is the correct response when you're playing a mech Terran in the early game.
True.
Because usually tanks are late if you're focusing on Hellions, which especially JimRising knows because he scouted. And oh my god, they're starting.
Oh god, the Lings do get into the natural mineral and the Hellions are popping out, but there's only one. A second one pops out, but workers are going down. Oh god.
Okay, only 4 workers down. This is actually a lot less than I was expecting. But yeah, this is a typical Zerg maneuver. You see the Hellions going out, the Zerglings going like every time.
Yeah.
Like I'm not sure why NeO built the
CC.
This is on the main base because usually you use it to wall.
Yes, that is 100% correct. Usually there is a wall here with the CC. Like this is a perfectly shaped CC wall, it would fit very nicely there, and then that run by doesn't happen. But yeah, NeO, I think he was a little bit, he wants to make sure the CC finishes. I guess he didn't want it to be exposed, and now JimRising is moving out with these roaches. Thankfully for NeO, he does have a Banshee, and it is still at home. It didn't go across the map, so it will help. But there's still no wall. Oh god. Oh no. NeO, please. Oh no.
Yeah, this is every mech Terran nightmare. Roaches before tanks.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a Banshee that's going to help a lot, but the roaches are still going to do damage. The SCVs are forced to go up. He's not going to lose many SCVs, which is the good thing.
Yeah,
Or he's going to delay all to take he's going to delay himself a lot.
Exactly, and all the Hellions are going down as well. Like, these roaches are dealing a lot of damage, and it just goes to show that JimRising, he knows the kind of player that NeO is, right? They may not have played each other often in competitive play, but NeO is a meching Terran, and going for roach pushes early on like this is what they are weak against.
Now, crucially, JimRising hasn't been able to do much economic damage. NeO has still a healthy SCV count. But every time that Jim has decided to push in, all the mining time that he's losing in a mech player especially, is going to delay a lot his build.
Exactly.
Just look what NeO has. He has 2 tanks, 1 Banshee, 1 Hellion. Like, mech, that doesn't look at a mech army. That's like whatever scrap you left after a fight.
Exactly. And NeO, he was even forced to lift up his 3rd base. Here comes the massive push from JimRising. He was walling the queens across the map. He has his lings. The tanks, they're exposed. The lings are gonna get on top of them. Oh god.
That's it, mate. Die. Like, the NeO has nothing else to defend basically. Jim now, all he has to do is to build Zerlings or roaches and push across the map and win.
And that's exactly what he's doing. We have roaches on the way. Oh, NeO, he scans, he sees how saturated that 3rd base is, and even without the roaches, NeO would have a really hard time dealing with all these queens. Oh boy. It's just...
The Banshee goes down, the doors are getting blocked by the old Hellbats, Zerlings are forced to be pushed, and you don't wanna do that? Yeah, mate, this is GG. I'm sorry, NeO. Please get out.
The Thors are getting taken out. GG gets called, and JimRising takes game number 2. Oh boy.
So in this matchup, I'm seeing a lot of JimRising showing us his years worth of experience to how to play against a meching Terran.
Yeah. pretty much. Aye.
Yeah, mate. So for the next game, I think NeO is the one that needs to shake it up a little.
Definitely. Oh boy. And I am really worried for him because NeO, he's having a hard time here. He's really not feeling it today, and NeO just logged off. He may have thought it was a best of 3 as well.
Wait, let me talk to him.
Yeah. Oh god. Yeah, it feels bad, man. NeO was just messaging me about, like, yeah, he doesn't know if he can do it against Jim. Oh god. But NeO, like, he's such a good player, and I've seen him do well against Zerg players in the past. He has taken down players like the Zerg Lord. He has gone toe-to-toe with people like Ryu and Eggs. He has performed better in the past, just not today. He's been having a hard time.
Okay, both players thought it was a best of 3.
Yeah.
No,
God damn it, guys. But it is a best of 5. So we'll see if we can get a hold of NeO. So I like what Gay is saying. He's like, yo, if you play StarCraft, you can be a surgeon. Easy. But yeah, as we wait and see what happens here, if we end up getting a walkover or if NeO does come back, there was a discussion earlier about the scenes in the region, and It's something that I talk a lot about during the Latin American weeklies, or that we talk a lot about, but I know there are people watching that maybe haven't tuned into them. The Latin American scene is insane. It's really large. I think the most important thing is that it's very competitive because there isn't a very large skill gap between the players. I think a part of that is also because Special and Kelazur are really disconnected with the scene. They aren't really a part of it. Cham is, but more recently he has been kind of stepping away as well. So that's why in the weeklies, like, we typically have new players or like new champions. You know, Pocket Mike wins sometimes, other times it's like Ryu or JimRising. The Zerg Lord has stepped it up. Shakti, Terran, Eric. It's really cool to see everyone go back and forth, and that is why the DreamHack qualifier that we look forward to the most is the Latin American one. One, because it's the largest. In general, the brackets are huge for Latin America, and it's more up in the air when it comes to who's going to actually qualify. It's a lot more, it's a lot more closer, and it makes it more exciting, but it also makes it harder to watch because there are a lot of players that are like maybe deserving to make it through, but because of the bracket, like, they hit other strong players and they just barely don't make the cuts. The Latin American qualifier is always a bloodbath.
Yeah, mate. I mean, there are two things to say here. Number one, yes, the thing about the difference when you see Latin America and North America, like, you see Latin America a lot of players at once, and North America not so much, right? But I think part of that is that if you see like the average Latin American brackets, you see a lot of low level players, you know, like diamonds or low masters, something like that. Meanwhile, when you see North Americans, you rarely see that.
Yeah.
You see a lot of GMs and high masters, something like that. This is one of the difference.
Yeah.
The North American scene is more fragmented.
Yeah.
Like, you don't see a lot of low players playing with high players and vice versa, which in Latin America happens.
Yeah.
No? I think the difference. The community is more united.
Involved.
I think that's the one I'm looking for. Yes, definitely.
Yeah, it's really interesting, more so than any other region. To reiterate, basically, when it comes to the Latin American like events, everyone shows up, like the pro players and the viewers as well. Like, there's a lot of diamond players, platinum players as well. Like, they all show up, they all want to be a part of it, and that rarely happens with North America or especially Korea. Korea is the worst for it, really. Like, there are even pros that don't sign up because they just feel like they don't think it's worth it. Like, F's in the chat for GSL Code A, like, it happens there as well.
I saw the bracket for the what was it? For TSL Korea, I think.
Yeah, yesterday.
Last night.
Yeah.
And there was one player who I like, who's this guy? And I looked it up on the C2 ladder, and he was like a 4.1k or something like that, you know, like not even Masters player. And I'm like, oh, okay, I'm impressed, because you never see a Korean that is not like a GM playing on anything.
And even with that, last night's TSL Korean qualifier had 11 players. It had 11 players, mate. Like, that's, yeah, it's like a different maybe mentality of the people as well. Like, they just don't think it's it
is definitely a lot of mentality, because I mean, you and I have both seen it. A player who's like coming to the weeklies and things like that, and you see like a little diamond player who, you know, he's going to lose out to versus JimRising or things like that, and then you see him 1 year later and he's GM.
Yeah.
No.
Oh, God.
And you're like, oh, he's growing. We have seen him a lot. I mean, NeO is one of these examples.
Exactly.
When playing, he was a nobody, and now look at him. He's here seeing JimRising again.
Exactly. Speaking of, here we go. We are in game number 3. This man here, he's on match point. Just needs one more to win and move on in the bracket. We have the Mexican Zerg representing Timbers Esports. It is JimRising.
And here, partially spawning on the top left-hand side of the map, the Peruvian Terran player playing for Exxon Gaming. This is NeO. I mean, I said partially because we already mentioned like he's doing it again.
Yep, here we go. This time, Jim, ooh, he does already have a drone down here. He will spot this. This is a lot earlier for JimRising compared to the previous game. Can he stop this in time is the real question, or will he lose this base once again?
No, he will lose it again. This is, I mean, you say the drone, but actually that drone went exactly at the exact same time as game number 1. Like again, Jim went completely blind. He needs to scout better.
He does.
Like,
he does.
People in the chat who are watching, if you're playing against JimRising, chase him because he's not going to scout you.
Yep. But to be fair, even though Jim didn't scout, like he was able to deal with it, right? He ended up winning the previous game because of his follow-up, and that is what's scary. Also, like he was able to get a queen out this time. He's spreading some creep. He should still lose this base, but I hope NeO's follow-up is a little bit better here, right? I hope he's able to save his SCVs this time, contain JimRising a little bit longer, and this time not take so much damage to the counterattack.
We hope so. He but on his base, his factory is done. His starport is starting up. I think he's gonna go for Banshees again. And Jim is actually going for the same answer of game number 1: Roaches and Ravagers.
Oh yeah. Just like last time, Ravagers are on the way, so he's gonna start biling, chipping away at these Raxes. Oh boy, and we'll see if NeO can hold on a little bit longer here, how good his micro is with these SCVs, how good the container is going to be. NeO, he's already working on the next step, already working on his natural, but not just his natural, like he needs to make sure he has an army to contend with these Ravagers.
Yeah, mate. No, the Marines, don't loosen NeO, don't loosen this time.
Oh god, please, don't do it.
Oh, that bunker survives. But not for long.
Bunker does go down. Only one bunker left. NeO, he was trying to focus down one of the Ravagers, but the Ravager does survive, and all these Marines are going to go down.
Mate, I'm seeing the Yabu, mate. I'm seeing the same thing that happened in game number 1.
Yeah. Now the Ravagers are going across the map. Banshee's gonna come out just like last time. I'm sure the Ravagers are gonna ignore it just like last time and keep pushing in. We'll see what the follow-up is going to be here. We'll see how NeO is going to be able to adjust, because he's been here in this situation before. The Banshee being a little bit more aggressive, already gonna kill one Ravager. Nice. Yeah, pushes the army away.
Yeah, good job. I mean, NeO was more prepared. He knew that Jim was going to do the same thing as game number 1. So now his Banshee was more ready. I think, if I remember correctly, the first game, he built tank, then Banshee. Now he went directly to Banshee. Because he needed to defend. A tank was not going to cut it.
Oh yeah. And now he's getting a second Banshee. I love this. He's like committing more to these Banshees is so important. We were like every single game in this series, like he's only ever had one against Roach Ravager. You know, you need so much more, and you have such a massive advantage, and you survive. And as we can see, he's able to push away JimRising. NeO actually scans the natural. He confirms that the natural is there, so he knows Jim isn't all in, but the queens have shown up.
To be honest, there's only 2 queens. Like 2 queens against 2 Banshees. You got 2 Banshees against 2 queens, so this is not a hopeless battle for NeO.
What I'm worried about is
what I don't like about NeO, I'm going to say, is that he didn't build a tier Banshee. Oh no, he lost one Banshee. He didn't build a tier Banshee because he was trying to save for battle cruisers again.
Exactly, a fusion core finished up, and because of that, he's gonna be punished for it. Like, he didn't have enough time to get out of BC. And now, this is not looking good, mate. You were talking about, it's just 2 queens, mate. It's 2 queens.
I mean, there was 2 queens. The problem is that he misplaced the Banshees and he lost one.
Yeah.
He needed the tier Banshee. The tier Banshee was what he needed.
Oh boy, now there's only 1 Banshee. I mean, thankfully NeO is still surviving, right? Like, he has slowly whittled away this army, but Jim is going to base Muta. Oh
I
no.
mean, sure, makes sense when you have a making Terran contained in one base for so long. Yeah, sure, go ahead.
Ay, ay, ay.
Ooh, no, he's not going to lose it, but he needs to repair it.
He does need to repair it, and thankfully he does. Now he's starting to push out, break into the natural, or break into his own natural, I should say. But I'm still worried about the mutas, mate. The mutas may be the nail in the coffin.
Yeah, it is very possible. The little anti-air that NeO has is losing it. He has not been. He is minute 7, and he has not been able to land his natural mate.
Boy, and Jim's getting
that.
yeah.
I love that Queen Micro, man.
Oh god, the drop a lord micro is real. The creep is gonna keep going. No. Oh,
This is so painful to watch. As a Terran player, mate, this is so painful to watch. Really.
Yeah. Finally.
Yeah. It only took 8 minutes. But finally, he has a natural. And he has a BC. And NeO, I don't think he has seen the Spire, right?
He hasn't. He scans the natural base. He doesn't see the Spire. He doesn't see the mutas coming out either. Thankfully, he isn't teleporting his BC across the map, so he will be able to teleport away to safety. But these mutas are going to be a big surprise. We may see a GG when they show themselves. Oh boy.
Maybe. Now he sees him. This BC is gone for.
Yeah.
Like, mate, teleport now or die. Okay, he saves it, but mate, this is.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
GG, mate.
GG. He did not have an answer for the mutas. Oh boy. And JimRising, in the end, does take the series 3-0.
Yeah, so thank you, NeO, for coming here. You did your best. And I hope we see him more of him in the future. Next week in DreamHack qualifiers.
Definitely. Love to see more of NeO. Love to see it. And hopefully he doesn't take this loss too hard. Again, you know, this is just a qualifier for OSC. I mean, you know, it does have a lot of weight to it, but of course DreamHack is the big thing that everyone is looking at.